Hello everyone and welcome to the Commexis Cast Daily for Tuesday, October 31st, 2017. All the news you need to know from our inbox to yours. I'm Matthew McGrorty, the videographer and podcaster here at Commexis, and today I'm joined by the lead strategist at Commexis, Phillip Brooks.
Happy Halloween.
And the president of Commexis, Len Ward.
Good morning.
And yes, it is Halloween today, so we'll get to that a little bit later with our second story. But our first story, Google is going to begin using location data for local results instead of URL tags.
Yeah, so this is, I think, let's just start with kind of some background on this. Evelyn Cow, the product manager at Google, wrote in a blog post that 1 in 5 results searches on Google are related to location. So providing locally relevant search data is really important to the user experience that they're trying to push, you know, the user experience first kind of philosophy. So what they've done is localized results now live on your phone, meaning that they've ditched top-level domain as a trigger point for serving up these results in local search. Just to give you some context, it doesn't really affect marketing because it doesn't affect ad results, but on the organic side, it's all about, you know, where you're located as opposed to what URL you're typing in. So for example, if you're traveling and you're generally going to google.co.uk, you're in the US, you type in Google, you type in that full domain, you're still going to get results for the area that you're in. So
and vice versa.
Yeah.
So say you're in the US and you go to England or say South America, something like that, and you would type in a different thing. So google.com in England now will give you the exact same local search results for you being in England, as opposed to originally what would happen, typed in google.com, you got United States search results.
Right. And it's important to point out too that this is consistent with how they're already delivering data on all their other platforms. So if you're dealing with, you know, the Google app for iOS or Maps or anything that you're doing mobile, you know, this just kind of takes that stuff and makes it all consistent throughout their product line.
Doesn't this though actually bring back geo-targeting or adding like geo-metadata? Because if you think about it, if you need to rank and say London hotel, you have to write hotel in London, or I mean, you know, whatever.
Yeah, no, I mean,
so you need to bring that back.
Well, yeah, they're saying that's what they're saying is that, you know, location-based data is you know, 1 in 5 results of searches actually has a location tag or trigger in it. So, you know, it's important that they kind of make that consistent and make it easier for people to find the results for where they are. I think you're right. I think it maybe makes the Dublin core again.
Yeah, well, because if you're in Scotland, Scotland, you know you're going to London tomorrow, you got to you have to type in. I guess that's kind of redundant, but
yeah, well, they actually say you can switch it off if for whatever reason you find that it becomes intrusive, or you really want to know what you would get if you were locally searching. So it's, you know, again, it's really just a part of an effort to make everything work the same way throughout all the processes. So
yeah, well, a second story for today, and the reason that I mentioned Halloween earlier, other than it being Halloween, is that a little bit of a scare potentially for healthcare companies or the pharmaceutical industry in general. There are rumors that Amazon is going to be entering the pharmaceutical industry and begin, you know, delivering and supplying prescriptions. There are no confirmed things from Amazon yet, as you would expect, but the rumors are already taking place, and companies are already beginning to sort of dash around and try and find a way around this. So the report that I'm talking about came from Adrian Pasquarelli from Ad Age, and it talked about a couple things. First, the supposed rumors of what Amazon's doing. So there were rumors that Amazon might be entering this. They might use Whole Foods as their sort of brick and mortar healthcare provider, which you can imagine, you know, they already have mentioned in other articles that, you know, people who, for example, have Amazon Prime might be getting discounts at Whole Foods. So I don't think it takes a stretch of the imagination to imagine that could happen here. Obviously, Amazon delivers and is one of the biggest e-commerce sites, so it wouldn't be surprising to say get your prescriptions delivered to you, kind of like what some people already do, but through Amazon. And then there was also that they mentioned that maybe the rating system that Amazon has might come into play if they are actually going to be doing online to-home deliveries. But what's important here is also sort of what some companies are doing to sort of combat this. So CVS Health is in talks to buy Aetna, which is an insurance company, in a $66 billion blockbuster deal. And the goal here, and what the article, Becky Childester, CEO of New York-based Wonderman Health, said that the focus here is going to be the need for transparency and differentiation. So for example, when you think of Amazon, you typically think of ease of purchasing, ease of delivery, and typically low prices. And to combat that, other companies are going to have to really pack in a lot of value into their products. So one of the examples that the article gives is if you're a smoker and you're trying to quit smoking, maybe you get a drug that helps you do that, but the drug also comes with an app that helps you go through the process in addition, whereas if, say, you went on Amazon and bought a prescription, you might not have something like that. So that's just kind of what the article talks about. I think this is really interesting for Amazon to do, and I have a feeling that if this is what is going to happen, which would not be too surprising, that it's going to be very, very lucrative for Amazon, and I think really shifting around how people buy their prescriptions.
There's a lot of big takeaways from this, and I like, my mind is just kind of racing, looking at all the different implications of what it could mean. But I think with Amazon having the infrastructure that they already have in place in their logistics platforms, it makes the home delivery option so much easier. They already have all the warehouse space, they already have all the transit and logistics stuff in place. But some of the things that are a little worrisome when you think about, you're dealing with perhaps generic medicines or things like that. Amazon has a problem with a lot of counterfeit items on their site and things like that. I wonder how they're going to combat that kind of stuff. Is it only going to be these things sold directly through Amazon themselves? The other thing I was thinking about is you mentioned some of the things they were doing to combat this from other companies, but these product synergies are huge. Especially given that they're dealing with Whole Foods. Whole Foods being a very naturalistic company. They have a lot of supplements and some of these holistic medications. Those synergies could really be exploited to say, hey, if you're taking this, you might enjoy this, or you might this might complement what you're already taking, or this might help reduce some of your side effects. The marketing aspects for that for me are huge.
It's the most regulated industry in the world, pharmaceutical drugs. I think Amazon's going to have a really tough time hopping hurdles. I'm sure that they could probably do it. I can't see major pharmaceutical companies, allowing, I just have a tough time seeing Pfizer or Merck allowing their core drugs that are not off patent being pushed on Amazon. I guess they would. I don't know. I think what's going to happen, you get pharmaceutical companies that may try to look to differentiate themselves and maybe, like you said, come up with a synergy product, download the app, here's our support group, whatever it may be. I get it, but is Amazon just going to ship everything? Is this just every single thing you buy in the world is just going to go through Amazon? It's a huge boon for them. There's no question. My God, it's the revenue could be amazing, but don't you just think that the government, somebody would get involved in this, buying all the drugs?
It's going to have to be regulated. Think about this. Just in general, we were speaking about the other day about just ways to safely deliver Amazon product. Can you imagine if opioids are being delivered? They're going to have all these lock and key things at locations, and think
about how secure they have to be. You're talking there's HIPAA violations right here. This is patient confidentiality. Finally, this thing is if Amazon were ever to get hacked, let's not even care about the credit card information, all that. You get somebody's medical records out there. That would ruin them. So you have to wonder at what point do you say, this may not be the right thing for us. Even as much money as it could be, it may not be the road we want to go down, because will the insurance, will the regulations, and will the compliance outweigh the profit, or cut so deep into the profit that you're only making 10 to 15% on this, or whatever it may be? That I don't know. That's for Amazon to believe. But it's yet another thing when you look at it from an advertising perspective, and how Amazon's now moving into obviously in the marketing world, which we even talked about in the last couple of podcasts. If you're a small to middle guy and you're looking to sell your product, it's really getting to the point where you have to be on Amazon. This is they're just thinking about everywhere they're going right now. It's stunning.
Yeah, it's becoming the world's online marketplace. Really, it's like a But the other thing I was thinking about too is, Amazon obviously stocks their warehouse with either part-time or temporary workers. You can't do that with pharmaceuticals. You're going to have to hire pharmacists to fulfill these orders. So that you're going to need to, that may create a huge demand in the field that's already a pretty lucrative field to be in to begin with.
It's a big thing, but there's also the big rumor out there, and I've read it years ago that Amazon may come in and buy UPS or FedEx and then dominate the shipping lanes, for them. But you got to think about it though. Now you're dealing with all the unions and what are the salaries and what's the insurance, and they may come in and buy this, but it just seems like Amazon's going to do this, Amazon's do that, and it's like everybody just kind of follows it all the way through. Where I get the story, I understand what the writer's saying, and I could be looked at as being wrong, but I'm not buying it. I don't think it's going to happen. And if it does, then I'm wrong. I think there's too many hurdles for them. I think they're a really smart business saying, you know what, we got to know when enough's enough.
Right. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in to today's episode of the Commexis Cast Daily. Check us out tomorrow for more of the latest trending news, and have a happy Halloween.